6 days before Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and other government leaders descend on Ayodhya for the long-awaited Bhumi Pujan or earth-breaking ceremony for the Ram Mandir, a big coronavirus scare has erupted in the holy town right before the Bhumi Pujan. A key priest's assistant who was likely to attend the Bhumi Pujan on the 5th of August has tested positive for coronavirus. The test report came positive in an antigen COVID test, and not just that, 14 policemen who are on duty at the temple site have also tested positive for coronavirus. Meanwhile, around 200 persons, including policemen and priests and others involved in the Bhumi Pujan at the Ram Janmabhoomi site have undergone corona antigen tests and their results are awaited. So, at least 15 people directly associated with the Bhumi Pujan, the security around the Ram temple site, have tested positive for coronavirus just 6 days before the Prime Minister and government leaders descend on the city for the Bhumi Pujan ceremony. Let's ask some big questions now before we get you a report from the ground. Question number one, which is the most obvious: will the Ram Mandir Bhumi Pujan stay on schedule as a result of what we're seeing break in the town of Ayodhya? Will this corona scare 15 people, and there are tests awaited for others so the number could go up? Will this corona scare force a change in plans for the Bhumi Pujan? Could the Bhumi Pujan finally be scaled down? Currently, the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust has invited 200 people. The Prime Minister is going to be the chief guest there. Home Minister Amit Shah will also be there. Here's what that program looks like, just to remind you of the scale of the program, to put it into context that this is where the coronavirus scare has actually taken place. Modi's chopper will be landing at Saket University in Ayodhya on the 5th of August. The Prime Minister will reach the Mandir premises at 11:30 a.m. on the 5th of August, and the Bhumi Pujan will last for about an hour. After the Pujan, the Prime Minister will address all of the participants. So it is in this area where you've got one priest and 14 policemen who've tested positive, and more than 200 others are currently being tested for coronavirus. So it is a COVID scare in the holy city and right there at the Ram Mandir site. Shivendra Srivastava joining me live for more on the story. He's with me in Ayodhya. Shivendra, take us through the latest on this. One priest, 14 policemen and 200 others awaiting their results.
See, Shiv, this is very scary situation as of now, because there are very few days for like Narendra Modi to come to therefore this Bhumi Pujan, and just before that 14 people from police force and also one priest is found positive for coronavirus. This is very disturbing as well.
Yes.
That's why administration is taking all necessary steps. They have laid down some certain rules for social distancing, and they have clearly said that everyone who is involved in this Bhumi Pujan ceremony will be tested. Antigen test or like proper coronavirus test will be done on that person. After that only he will be allowed to go to near that premise. And also during that ceremony, 200 people whose list is finalized, they will also be like advised to sit in a social distancing norm to follow those rules which are laid for coronavirus pandemic. But as of now, no one is officially speaking about this situation, because they all are like disturbed for this kind of news that like so many people have got positive,
yes,
especially from the force, and they are people who are deployed for this big ceremony, and this is big question that like how they will handle the situation. And but administration is also saying as of now that they will certainly take care of all necessary steps before sending them on duty for this occasion, and all people who are invited, they will also go for this corona test.
Okay.
And they will be they'll have to follow all the norms laid by the administration to avoid the situation.
Is it possible, since the Prime Minister is, an SPG protectee and, various considerations go into the planning of such a visit, Shivendra, is it possible, I know the Ram Janmabhoomi is not commenting on this, but is it possible, according to your sources, that the ceremony might have to be scaled down somewhat with fewer people actually attending?
See, as of now, there is no official confirmation about this, and they are not thinking in this line also, because final decision will be certainly taken by PMO only, or by the trust in this big ceremony.
Yes.
So, administration is doing what they are asked to do, and they are planning as it was decided earlier. They are like beautifying the city, and they are also making roads clean, and they are removing encroachment and making fence on the road on which PM Narendra Modi will go to this place. But as of now, there is no official confirmation whether this ceremony will be like delayed or cancelled. But it seems that they are on their toes to control the situation, contain the situation, so that there would not be any embarrassing or law-breaking situation for this occasion. And this is going to be a very big situation, and people were waiting for years for this event.
Yes.
So it seems this will go as planned, but there will be certain rules and regulations and like strictness for this occasion, so that this will not spread further.
Shivendra, thank you very much. Keep tracking that story. We'll come back to you, hoping to hear from the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust itself, because they are the organizers of the Bhumi Pujan that's going to take place 6 days from now. Let's show you a map of Ayodhya to give you a perspective of where this sudden spike in COVID-19 cases has taken place, which is at the Ram Janmabhoomi site, and where the closest COVID care centers are. Take a look at this map. It gives you a sense of where things are. The Bhumi Pujan site, 8 kilometers from there is the Darshan COVID hospital, and the Ayodhya district hospital is quite some distance away. So there are 2 COVID care centers in Ayodhya. That map gives you a sense of where those sites are in case the numbers actually increase. Well, despite this COVID-19 scare, priests in the temple town remain enthusiastic, like Shivendra just said, about what's going to happen on the 5th of August. See it for yourself. COVID-19 cases, but the fervor in Ayodhya at the Ram Mandir site is continuous.
कदर बुलबुल की रोने से मगर सयाद क्या जाने, जो आशिक है वही जाने, मगर जल्लाद क्या जाने, जख्मे जिगर जलती रही मल्लाह क्या जाने, और दिल मस्त होके डूबे तो जर्राह क्या जाने। ले लो मेरी जान, करो फिर मंदिर का निर्माण, ले लो मेरी जान, करो फिर मंदिर का निर्माण, ले लो मेरी जान, करो फिर मंदिर का निर्माण, ले लो मेरी जान, करो फिर मंदिर का निर्माण। मन की ये कामना है, मन की आराधना है, उस काम के लिए मेरी जिंदगी है, सिर्फ मेरे राम के लिए मेरी जिंदगी है, सिर्फ मेरे राम के लिए। वक्त चाहिए ना मुझको आराम के लिए, वक्त चाहिए ना मुझको आराम के लिए, मेरी जिंदगी है सिर्फ मेरे राम के लिए, मेरी जिंदगी है सिर्फ मेरे राम के लिए, मेरी जिंदगी है सिर्फ मेरे राम के लिए।
Well, while preparations are on for the Bhumi Pujan ceremony 6 days from now, there's no such activity underway at the mosque site allotted by the Supreme Court in its landmark judgment. Our reporters from Ayodhya tell you about what's happening right there at the mosque site.
Preparing for a historic event. Things coming together seamlessly for the August 5th groundbreaking ceremony and Bhumi Pujan by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A makeover so striking that it's visible up from the skies. From the Ghats, a new bus terminus, a renovated train station. But 25 kilometers from the temple site, this is the village Dhanipur, where the Muslim party to the Ayodhya case has been allotted these 5 acres to build a mosque as per the Supreme Court order.
I'm right now at Dhanipur village in Ayodhya, and this is the 5-acre land that has been allotted to the Sunni Central Waqf Board. This land is around 25 kilometers from the Ram Janmabhoomi site, and you can see that there is also a dargah here. Sources say that the board has taken possession of the land after accepting it on February this year.
Locals who India Today spoke with confirmed they haven't seen any significant activity on the site. The Uttar Pradesh Sunni Central Waqf Board has proposed to build not only a mosque but other cultural and social facilities.
इसमें अभी प्रगति जीरो है। जो पहले वही नपाई पाई हुई थी, उसके बाद कोई अधिकारी और इसको देखने तक नहीं आया। अभी कुछ पुख्ता जानकारी नहीं है कि कब से निर्माण चालू होगा।
In fact, it was on Wednesday that the board made a formal announcement of a 15-member trust to work out resources and logistics for the construction. For now, there's no firm time frame to execute the plans. The Yogi Adityanath government insists the mosque project is now the sole responsibility of the state's Sunni Waqf board.
ये चूंकि उनके एंड से होना है, अब ये सुन्नी वक्फ बोर्ड तय करेगा। उनकी जो कमेटी बनेगी उसमें तमाम लोगों को किसको लेंगे किसको नहीं लेंगे, कमेटी बनने के बाद कमेटी डिसाइड करेगी। ये मुझे लगता है कि दूसरे पक्ष का ही एंड है, वही डिसाइड करेंगे। हमारा सिर्फ इतना काम था सरकार का कि हमें माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के आदेशानुसार उनको जमीन देना थी। 5 एकड़ जमीन हमने उनको ट्रांसफर कर दी है।
Remember, after the Supreme Court ordered that mosque land be allotted within Ayodhya, the state government extended the town's municipal limits to Dhanipur village, where 5 acres were transferred to the Sunni Waqf board. Not everyone within the Muslim community welcomes the move.
जजमेंट के अनुसार मस्जिद, मंदिर, लाइब्रेरी, म्यूजियम और एमिनिटीज़ के लिए उसी एक्वायर्ड लैंड पर ज़मीन देना था। ये भी लिख दिया था कोर्ट ने कि अगर वहाँ पहले तो यही लिखा था कि एक्वायर्ड लैंड पर मस्जिद के लिए ज़मीन दी जाए, और फिर आगे ये भी लिखा था कि अगर वहाँ न पॉसिबल हो तो किसी और प्रोमिनेंट प्लेस पर अयोध्या में। और उस वक्त जब ये जजमेंट हुआ है नवंबर में, तो अयोध्या सिर्फ वही टाउनशिप थी जो फैज़ाबाद ज़िले में थी, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट ने उस दोनों जजमेंट के ख़िलाफ़ लैंड वहाँ अलॉट की, जो वहाँ से 22-23 किलोमीटर दूर है।
The contrast couldn't be more pronounced. There's no real excitement to take the mosque project forward, at least for now. Dilanshu Shukla and Kumar Abhishek for India Today.
And perhaps unsurprisingly, just days before the grand puja, that has been called into question by the coronavirus spike that's taken place at the Ram Janmabhoomi site. Well, the politics is always there and has erupted afresh now. The Congress party has once again stoked a big controversy. Congress MP, not just some random leader, but a Congress Lok Sabha MP, and P. Chidambaram's son Karti Chidambaram has tweeted and said there is no need for a temple. A statement that will have far-reaching consequences perhaps for the Congress party's narrative on the mandir. He went on to question the time allocated for the ceremony, calling it inauspicious. Karti Chidambaram said that this time slot is actually a bad time and claims that it is actually Rahu Kalam. Rahu Kalam is believed to be bad or inauspicious time, which is not considered favorable to start any new activity. Commenting on the Rahu Kalam, Karti Chidambaram, who is former Union Minister P. Chidambaram's son, says he reiterates his old stance that there is no need for another temple in the country. Earlier, Congress leaders Digvijay Singh, Hussain Dalwai and others also questioned the Bhumi Pujan event to be attended on the 5th of August by the Prime Minister. But this is something that goes beyond questioning the Bhumi Pujan itself. This questions the mandir.
नेता पी चिदम्बरम के पुत्र कार्तिक चिदम्बरम ने जिस हिसाब से मुहूर्त के बारे में विश्लेषण किया, दुर्भाग्य इस बात की है कि अब कांग्रेस के लोग भी मुहूर्त बताने लगे। जो लोग कहा करते थे कि राम का कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है, जो भगवे को आतंकवादी बताया करते थे, अब उनके बेटे बता रहे हैं कि ये राहु काल है, उस समय कोई मुहूर्त नहीं। भगवान श्री राम को लेकर, जन्मभूमि को लेकर किसी प्रकार का मुहूर्त का कोई लफड़ा नहीं है, बहुत शुभ मुहूर्त है।
Salman Nizami is a political analyst aligned with the Congress party. Anila Singh is spokesperson of the BJP. Joining me here on 5 Live, we invited Karti Chidambaram to join this debate as well. We sent him a few questions, offered to get his view on this debate as well, but he has declined, so I wanted to be very open about that. Salman, you know, questioning the Bhumi Pujan ceremony itself is one thing. I think there are some valid questions because this is a COVID-19 time, you know, and any questions that are not motivated by any other vested interests are most welcome. We ourselves have been asking those questions. But why does Karti Chidambaram, who is a Lok Sabha MP, feel the need to comment on the need for the temple itself? This appears to be mischievous, almost trolling the lakhs of, you know, devotees that are waiting for this day and waiting for this temple. He's not questioning the Bhumi Pujan, he's questioning the temple.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, actually, this is not the official party line. And secondly, I think he has not only mentioned about temples, he has also mentioned about mosques and gurdwaras and churches also.
Not in this, not in this comment.
As a Muslim, I will tell you very honestly that Muslims across India have accepted and respected Supreme Court's verdict. And anybody should not have a problem with this Ayodhya verdict and Ayodhya temple now.
Yes.
So people who are just trying to, you know, politicize it, they are just trying to float politics over this issue. And we should move forward. And now we should focus on other issues.
No, I agree.
And in fact,
don't you think, Salman, let me ask you a follow-up question then. Then where is the need for Karti Chidambaram to say something like this at this time? He knows it's an emotive issue. He knows that this will be conflated to mean the Congress party line. He knows this will embarrass the party and its leadership. Why does he feel the need to comment on this very emotive issue?
Well, it is his personal comment, and I told you that it's not the official party line. But we should move forward now. We should not focus on temples, mosques, gurdwaras and churches. We should focus on the real issues the country is going through.
Yeah,
Still in Ladakh, the Pakistan is still trying to attack in Kashmir.
Salman, all those are issues here in India today. Let's not try and, you know, dilute everything. We're talking about one particular thing. So I'd like to ask, because the reason I'm asking this is the Congress is already under criticism for having a wishy-washy line. You've had Digvijay Singh also making comments. You've had Hussain Dalwai also making comments. Now you've got Karti Chidambaram, who's by far much more important than Digvijay Singh and others, because he's a Lok Sabha MP who's commenting on it. And it has to be taken seriously.
But he has not mentioned about only temples.
He has. No, Salman, read his tweet. Read his tweet again. He talks about the Ram Mandir.
So we should move ahead now. Why we are wasting our time on religious politics? We should ask the government, what about the Achhadin? What about China isn't still inside Ladakh?
Salman, Salman, you know, this is all rhetoric. Salman, you're a friend, but this is rhetoric. The fact is, asking about the politics over the Ram Mandir doesn't mean that India Today is not reporting about what's happening in Ladakh or the Achhadin. In fact, we are the only channel that has reported that the Chinese are sitting on our territory in Ladakh. So please don't lecture us about what we should be asking. We are asking all those questions. Anila Singh, I'll come back to you, Salman. Anila Singh, can the Congress say that this is a personal comment of someone like Karti Chidambaram? He's a Lok Sabha MP. And this is 6 days before the Bhumi Pujan, where he is saying we don't need another temple.
Absolutely. And Congress cannot say that it is a personal comment. And like every time they cannot escape by saying that. So many leaders of Congress, time and again, they have been commenting on this. Like earlier, they were the biggest hindrance in making of Ram Mandir. Now, we all have won this battle, and the Ram Mandir construction has to be started. Even in that, they are not happy. They are commenting. I mean, Mr. Salman, you very well say when you say that we should do the debate on development of our country or other major issues which are happening in our country. Yes, you are absolutely correct. But we cannot leave our religion. As you cannot leave your religion, even we can't. For Hindus, Ayodhya, Ram Mandir is as Makkah is yours. So definitely we are standing very strongly. We have been fighting on this issue. We have won the battle. Now we want Ram Mandir construction to start.
No, this is
with proper
what I
Mahurat
don't
and
understand.
Please allow me 10 more seconds. With proper Mahurat and everything, things have been finalized. Now the expert comment of Mr. Karti Chidambaram comes and he says, and he discusses about the Mahurat and everything. So he has got expertise on this subject as well. We know that he has expertise on one subject, and that is black money. Money laundering, black money, all that thing.
No, we'll come to that later. Anila, let's stick on topic now. Let's stick on topic now. Forget about the black money issue. I want to talk about the politics for a moment. Because see, Salman, the Ram Mandir issue has been through all the courts of the land. It's gone through the Supreme Court. It has stretched on for decades. And finally, there was a verdict. Surely that should be respected. And surely Karti Chidambaram is the person who you should be telling, please move on from this. This is something that's been through our democratic institutions. A verdict has been made. This is something connected with the sentiments of millions of people around the world. You don't need to add your opinion to this and embarrass yourself and the party.
No, I already said that it's not the official party line. And secondly, as a personal opinion is mine, my personal opinion is that they are just, some people are there, be it Uwaisi or somebody else. They are just trying to float politics over such issues.
I agree.
Religious issues. We have many other issues in the country going on. We have to fight the coronavirus unitedly, be it a BJP or another. We should not play the blame game now.
No, but Salman.
And after the invocation of Article 370, what has changed in Kashmir? That is in front of you. We are going from other issues also. There is unemployment issue, development issue, economy down. Economy is also down. So I think this is his personal statement, and he has not mentioned about only the temples.
He has
also mentioned.
Yes.
No. He has mentioned only about the temple in this particular tweet, but
hospitals.
No, I don't see. The thing is, you know, the leader of the Congress party, or at least the most prominent leader of the Congress party, is Rahul Gandhi right now, even though he's not officially the president. Anila Singh, and Rahul Gandhi, whenever it's convenient to him, he is a Ram Bhakt or a Shiv Bhakt or whatever. Wouldn't something like this embarrass him? You know, shouldn't something like this require a clarification from Rahul Gandhi? If someone as luminous as a Lok Sabha MP is saying this, you know, I can understand if some fringe leader, Salman, had said this, and the Congress can say, wo to hamara nahi hai, he's a fringe leader, or it's a Mani Shankar Iyer who does not hold any post, then you can understand. Karti Chidambaram is a very visible face of the Congress party. He's a Lok Sabha MP, he's an elected representative. Anila Singh.
Shiv, this is the stochastic terrorism, I can say. They follow one ideology, and one ideology is divide and rule. This family, Sonia Gandhi's family, whether we talk about Mrs. Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi or Mrs. Priyanka Vadra, they will never going to step forward, and they are never going to condemn what Mr. Karti Chidambaram has said, because they pretend to be Brahmins, they pretend to be Sacha Hindu, just wearing the Janevu above the coat or whatever above their clothes, just to portray, okay, we are staunch Hindus and we are staunch Brahmins and we follow everything. Why they are not coming in front? Why they are not condemning what Mr. Karti Chidambaram has said? I mean, we all, everybody, whether we talk about Hindus or we talk about Muslim, because Bhagwan Shri Ramchand is not only a Hindu god, but he is the ideal who everybody follows when we talk about Dharam. Dharam is the right way to conduct your duties. So when Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi or Mrs. Priyanka Vadra, when they do not condemn him, they shows the thought process of Congress. Thought process of Congress is the appeasement politics. They are indulging into it. They know it very well that Bihar elections are around the corner, then West Bengal is there, then Uttar Pradesh is there. So they do not want to say anything. which can disturb their vote bank.
No, which brings me to my question, Salman. When you say that people should be moving on to other topics, I actually agree with you. People should be moving on to other topics. And if Karti Chidambaram wants to attack the government or attack the Prime Minister, there are so many other things that can be used. Why can't Karti Chidambaram move on from this topic? This has been through the courts. All he is doing is giving the government and the BJP another reason to point a finger at the Congress and attack the Congress. The BJP is not going to buy this excuse of it being the personal view of Karti Chidambaram, Salman. You and I very well know that. This is going to be taken as the Congress line.
But this only Karti Chidambaram can clarify. But I think that you have misquoted his statement.
It's on my screen, Salman. It's on my screen.
But also about mosque. Don't interrupt. About mosque also. About gurdwaras also. Why we are wasting money on big statues where we have to utilize
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because he's saying it right before the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram Mandir.
Shortage of ventilators in the hospitals.
Salman, I'll tell you why there's a difference. I'll tell you what. I understand what Karti Chidambaram is saying. We don't need more places of worship. Why is he choosing to say it 5 days before the Bhumi Pujan of the Ram Mandir? What other purpose could it serve except to irritate the sentiments of devotees, irritate the sentiments of people who've been waiting for this Ram Mandir? What else is the intention here? And to embarrass his party.
No, I told you this is not the official party line. I repeat it. But the things are that the main issue is that we are facing the other crises also. Go to the hospitals of anywhere, be it Bihar or even in any other country. See the condition of the hospitals. We are facing shortage of ventilators in the hospitals. We are spending crores of money on statues. But we should utilize these funds on the hospitals.
No, but how does that explain? How does that explain embarrassing your party on an issue that has embarrassed the party in the past as well? That is my point. There is already a leadership crisis within the party. This is something that the Congress should be looking inward about, Salman. And you have a Lok Sabha MP with a big following on social media giving the Congress one more problem to deal with.
No, this is not the Congress stand, I think, but Congress has accepted the Supreme Court's verdict. Even Muslims across the country have accepted the Supreme Court verdict.
Ayodhya too.
And issuing these provocative statements. They are just politicizing the issue for their own benefits. And I, as a Muslim, I have accepted it. And I was the only person who issued a statement that we should build a university in that area which has been given to the Muslims in Ayodhya.
Anila Singh, are you seeing this as a personal comment of Karti Chidambaram or the Congress party line? And I wanted to prove it to Salman because he is saying that you should ask Karti Chidambaram this. This is his personal comment. Salman, I want to exhibit for you because this is what's going to happen on primetime television. There are certain channels which are going to basically say, this is the Gandhi line. Nobody is going to remember Karti Chidambaram's name. People are going to say this is the Congress line, and in the people's mind, that's what will stick. Nobody will care about Karti Chidambaram. That is the point I'm making. Anila Singh, final comment.
Absolutely. Sure, but that is the truth. As I mentioned earlier, if this Gandhi family is not stepping forward and they are not condemning what Mr. Karti Chidambaram has said, so this proves that this is the ideology, this is the stand of the Congress party, Indian National Confused Party. Either Mr. Chidambaram doesn't understand the meaning of Muhurat, he doesn't understand the feelings of all the devotees. As I said, Bhagwan Shri Ram is above Hindu or any other religion. He is one person which is being followed because of his dharma ideology, which everybody wants to follow. But at the same time, Indian National Confused Party, INC, doesn't want to follow any dharma. That is why they are not going to condemn what Mr. Chidambaram has said. So this proves that Congress never wanted Ram Mandir to be constructed.
Salman, I'll let you reply. Let her finish.
But Supreme Court has prevailed. The judgment verdict is out, and now very soon the construction will start, and for which we were waiting for hundreds of years. So I think if Mrs. Gandhi, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mrs. Priyanka Vadra, they are not condemning what Mr. Chidambaram has said, then definitely it is the statement of Indian National Congress.
Do you think this hits close to home, Salman, in terms of it being too much of an emotive issue, too much of a problem for the Congress? Do you think that the leadership of the Congress will come out and either clarify and say what you've said, saying it is only his personal opinion and it is not the Congress line? It is one thing for you to say it, but if the leadership doesn't say it, it will be interpreted as Congress line because this is a Lok Sabha MP.
Rahul Gandhi has accepted the Supreme Court's verdict. Congress party has accepted the Supreme Court's verdict. I, as a Congress supporter, have accepted the Supreme Court verdict. Being a Muslim, I have accepted. I have no problem.
Come on, Salman, you're an Indian. That doesn't make a difference. All of us accept all Supreme Court verdicts. All of us have to accept Supreme Court verdicts. We don't have a choice in the matter. Why are you making it about Hindu and Muslim? We all have to accept Supreme Court verdicts. What is this about Hindu and Muslim?
No, I as a Muslim and as a Congress supporter, I have accepted it. I have accepted. And I was the first.
This is sad. I mean, we're all Indian. I'm just saying that this is an issue that's been through the Supreme Court. This is the Supreme Court. What do you mean by Rahul Gandhi has accepted it? What choice does he have in the matter? That's my question. That is my point. If he indeed has accepted it like we all have and none of us have a choice in the matter, it's the Supreme Court which has made this verdict. I am simply saying that isn't it damaging to the Congress party? If they have worked hard to make sure that they have a clear line as far as Ram Mandir is concerned, then 5 days before the Bhumi Pujan, in the public eye, it will seem like Congress is against the Ram Mandir. That's what Karti Chidambaram has done. I am actually speaking in favor of the Congress party here. Yes, Anila. Final comment.
Yeah, sure. I just want to say here one thing, Mr. Salman, especially for you. Just now you said, as a Muslim, I have accepted the verdict of Supreme Court. You didn't have any option. If you had any option, you would have stood against the verdict. So you don't have any option, and truth has prevailed. And truth is that Ram Mandir is the birthplace of Bhagwan Sri Ram. And secondly, I want to tell you here, Mr. Salman, one more thing about our PM, Narendra Modi ji. 1 year, today 1 year has completed when Muslim women, they got rid of instant triple talaq. It became criminal. So you should celebrate the type of Prime Minister we have got in our country who is standing so strongly with each and every citizen living in India, whether Muslim or Hindu. Like Hinduism teaches us equality. Our ethos is equality. We don't want to differentiate. Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas. So for the moment, go and tell Mr. Chidambaram and Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Gandhi that they should stand very strongly with all the devotees instead of playing Twitter.
I'm completely out of time. Salman and Anila Singh, thank you very much for being with me. My only point is this. The opposition has its hands full. The opposition must ask the legitimate questions, and when the opposition asks the tough questions of the government, we will always amplify them here on India Today. My simple point is, this particular tweet by Karti Chidambaram seemed designed to provoke, seemed designed to irritate, seemed designed to drum up passions, almost seemed like it was trolling the devotees of this Ram Mandir. It has been through the Supreme Court, for God's sake. He might be making a larger point, but in the hustle of bustle of politics, this is going to become another Congress BJP tutu meme. That is the point I was making, and it affects the sentiments of people who are looking forward to the Ram Mandir. We are not Muslim and Hindu. We are all Indians here. That is the point. Thank you, Anila Singh. Thank you, Salman, for joining me on this discussion. Coming up next on 5 Live, the Enforcement Directorate has now stepped into